So I'm super excited to be among peer friends. I've known some of you for 20 years. That doesn't talk about my age. For the sake of this next 20 minutes, the good news is I don't have any slides. The bad news is this is going to be on your face for the next 20 minutes. I was asked by Sandhya to speak on digital transformation, and then maybe she realized I'm not qualified enough to talk about it, and so she chose another topic, and this is the topic she gave me to speak about. So I'm guessing there must be something that we do well in our business, and there must be some authority for me to do something like this. So to give you a little context and why I'm qualified enough to say what I'm going to say in the next 20 minutes, here is the context. My business has built some of the largest systems in this country, including the largest supercomputer class system that nobody can speak about because it is used for very secretive purposes. My company has been behind building system for Chandrayaan. It has been behind system for tsunami warning. It has been behind one of the largest, most important mission-critical immersive video network. Why I'm saying this is just to qualify that you can take me seriously for the topic that I'm going to talk about. So some of these examples that I gave, they are very large simulation systems, very large modeling systems. They've been running on-prem. Now they've moved those workloads or bursted them into cloud, and which is where this whole qualification comes in, which is where I can possibly tell you why it is very important for businesses to be very strategic about how they consume capacities on cloud. Now that comes from the standpoint that this simulation that happened on-prem, this modeling that happened on-prem, they also included, for example, I'll pick an example and give you a better sense of what I'm trying to bring out. 2 cars have been crashed, and that simulation happens on LS Dyna. It consumes a lot of computing capacity. It consumes a lot of storage. If you were to do that on-prem versus take this whole problem and run it on a cloud capacity, crash those 2 cars, and you run that whole LS Dyna simulation, amount of money that you spend on doing something like that versus on-prem is huge, is very, very large. And which is also why some businesses have been shying away from doing things on cloud, and some businesses have aggressively taken capacities on cloud because there are business outcomes, there is ROI, they have defined it, how well it is going to give rate of return to what they're trying on the cloud. Now, these are the 2 parts of my conversation. I'm going to be talking about these 2 parts. One is the strategy, the second is ROI. Lately, some of us have been doing this, right? You must have screamed at your children, or your spouse would have screamed at you in the house. It could be very recent. It could have been yesterday. Disagree with me if there is anybody in the room. You were told, or you told, switch off the lights, switch off the air conditioner. Did we? Were we told by our spouses, oh, lazy husband, jao, AC band kar do? Or we've screamed at our child. Or were you in this situation where you said, Dabbu, AC kyun on hai kamre ke andar? And Dabbu says, मैंने नहीं किया, Dimpy ने किया. And Dimpy says, मैंने नहीं किया, Dabbu ने किया. And it goes on. AC कोई बंद ही नहीं कर रहा. तो फिर माँ जाती है, she goes and switches off. So why am I saying situations like this? These are the real life situations. These are the ways our households work. This is how cloud also works. If you related this thing, it's exactly how cloud works. There are businesses, there are people who said, I did not spin those systems in the weekend. And there are people who coming in and saying, no, I was not the one. He says, I was not the one. And nobody knows who spun those systems.